Guess what time it is? It's time for coffee. At least in my world, it is. So, welcome to the fun. It's coffee talk time. So, when I started these little coffee talk Saturday morning hangout, chit chat with the community, the goal was just to connect with people who wanted to talk about alchemy and magic and experience the shifts in a way where we feel safe, seen, and heard because I can't just invite all of you into my living room and have coffee and chit chat about the magic of the world and the universe as much as I want to. Some of you have been here. Some of you have joined me in my living room and had coffee with me, so thanks. So, what this is for, though, is to connect with people around the world who also want this type of communication and conversation. So, hey, Kelly, and good morning. Look, it's actually working. I can see your comments. Yes. Jeannie's here. What do you got, Jeannie? Jeannie's always on and sharing the magic of what you're drinking. And I think Jeannie makes some of the coolest morning drink. And it's even earlier there for you. You have the classic. I've got my favorite mug. I've got my favorite dog. I've got my favorite Dunkin' Donuts coffee and my favorite creamer. And Jeannie, hey Tina, nice to see you. Jenna, my beautiful friend. Look at that. We've already got a few countries online. I love it. Thanks for joining in, saying hello, my friends. It's been a hot minute, and I'm going to tell you why. So as we celebrate whatever time of the day it is for you, for me, I'm in North Carolina. It's on the east coast of the U.S., and it's 9:30 in the morning. So it's my coffee time. I'm originally from New York and grew up watching Saturday Night Live. So on Saturday Night Live, there is a little bit called Coffee Talk, and it's Mike Myers, and he does his aunt's unique New York type accent. So it's Coffee Talk, and it's just this over exaggerated like connection and community. So because I'm from New York, and you can't take the New Yorker out of the New Yorker, I just want to have coffee talk with my friends. So y'all are showing up and saying hi, and coffee and Cool Whip with caramel syrup, Jeannie. That's the best. I absolutely love that. So if you're, first time joining me for coffee talk, it's really the intention is to connect. This community of people who want to experience change in a way that feels safe, where you feel seen, you feel heard, and just feel like you're semi-normal having all of these wild experiences where you're connecting to a new part of yourself. And I know as I did it, I couldn't have done it on my own. I needed community. And this was during COVID when everything was falling apart in life, but I was building this amazing online community with so many of you. And good morning, Kathleen. So if you're here and you want to say hi in the chat box or the comments section, I'll try to be able to see your comments here. And as we get into it, the topic of the day, it's just one big word, is change. I mean, I laugh because I understand how the universe and energy and flow and momentum and change and how our human form works with our spirit and our soul and our essence and super conscious. You're going to hear that word a bit today. But for me, it's like, how do we just sit and normalize talking about this stuff? It's having coffee together. So thanks for being here. Peppermint tea for you. Hey, Eris, welcome, welcome. And Jeannie's pulling out the Halloween mug for that time of year. So wherever you are in the world, thanks for jumping in and saying hi, or if you're even watching this on a little replay. And if you want to see some of the other coffee talks, some of them are in the Facebook group, Journey into Alchemy with Trisha. You've got to do a request to join. It is a free group where I post all this stuff, but then follow my YouTube channel. Again, it's Trisha Becker, Journey into Alchemy. You're going to find me all over online with that title. And the goal is just to share as much as I possibly can to let you know that when we go through these massive changes in life, we're not alone. We feel like we're alone, but we're not. And this is proof for me. Hi, Sonia. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining in. And I know even just this week, all right, I'm going to get a little closer now. This is how it works. I just get to move everything and get really, really close to you all. So we could just hug and chit chat and sit maybe, I don't pull my blanket out, but my favorite blanket, my favorite pillow, my favorite dog, and my favorite mug, and just say, it's going to be okay. So this week alone, I have stepped up and I've asked for help. I mean, the tears that come to my eyes, even just saying that, is pretty wild because I'm an independent woman. I'm a strong woman. I've lived life alone, single. I'm doing it. I started my own business on my own multiple times, but my father is ailing, and he's ailing in such a way that it's a massive, massive decline. And it's sad, and it's also time. That change in him is emotionally and physically draining on anybody. Much like, of course, me, because he lives near me and I really want to be there for him at this stage of his life. It's gut wrenching, it's painful, it's sad, and it's necessary. His body just doesn't want to do what he wants it to do anymore. So, of course, I take all this on, and I'm building a business. And a couple weeks ago, I had a big event with the amazing Tracy Reiferscheid, who came here to North Carolina, hosted with me. Some of you were here, Jeannie, Stacy. Hi, Tracy. There she is. Look, I was just talking about you. And Stacy was here, and Jeannie was here for this event, and it just knocked my socks off. And I rarely impress myself. I mean, as much as I do and love the stuff I do, I actually started glass blowing again last night. Like, oh my God, the things I love to do. But this event changed my life because we got onto a new experience of a new timeline of who we want to be and how do we step into that level of our lives that we decided that's who we want to be. It's a huge, giant change, and it's necessary. So for me to step up this week and actually say, hey peoples, I need help. I reached out to a few different people. I need help. And it was just saying that helped me. Just being able to let my guard down and say, I can't do it all by myself. I mean, duh. But the patterns that we go through, and I've got a fun little thing here that I printed out to show you. Why do we get stuck in these old ruts that hold us back from changing? I got the exact simple answer. It's the old patterns that kept us alive and kept us safe for a really long time. And some very well-meaning people taught us these old patterns. Parents, siblings, teachers, mentors, gurus, whatever, religious sector. It holds us in limitation when we go for what we love, when we want to live the magical, amazing life. And it's not wrong. It's not bad. It's just not giving us what we want anymore. So as we celebrate, everybody, cheers with you for being here with your tea and your coffee and your magic. And Luna's walking around. I just want you to know, no matter how alone you feel, it's not true. We create those patterns because it made us feel safe at one point. And if you could take it from anybody who has this amount of energy and this amount of creativity and passion and fire and zest and zeal for life, like anybody, everybody can step up and create change when you're in a safe space. So the group that I've created, and some of you are in it, it's called Sacred Space because we hold each other in honor and love and safety and say it's all of us being together, being okay with who we are. And I joke, and I love that some of you are here. I joke with my it's a coaching group. We do training twice a week. And interesting that happens right now. Probably a phone call from the hospital where my father is. I'm going to call him back because we're going to get through this. The Sacred Space, we meet twice a week. And I tell the group often that they know more about me than most people because I teach from experience. I show up in authenticity and honesty as often as I possibly can with everybody, not just coaching or teaching, with my family, with my friends. And what pushed me over the edge this week was I started doubting myself. And I realized this is not who I am. I know my power. And I look back and I said, well, when I create success and flow and ease and magic in my life, what am I doing? And I'm asking for help. So for me to step out of that old pattern of I can do it all on my own, and I asked for help this week, just the asking changed the momentum. So I want to celebrate that with you. And so what we're going to go through today is what I actually teach in my group. This is just the foundation of it. And you're not going to get the PDF because that's for the people who are in my group. Oh, and if you would like to join or just learn more information about the group, here's a little blip. Here's a little video. And for being here, you get this fun little access to join the Art of Alchemy. It's my signature course, and it's the group called Sacred Space, where we learn sacred alchemy and we get to play together and understand how do we consistently create change in a safe way that's survivable, and it's what we're choosing now, and live the life of magic that we're actually looking for. So if you're ready, let me get to my little paper presentation that I printed out. So I'm a very visual person. I'm an artist, a trained artist. I see things. I close my eyes and I see images. Most people do. Not everybody. But if you can close your eyes and see a triangle, that's just the basic shape we're working with today, is just a triangle. So I'm calling it following the superconscious creators map. And you don't need all of this, but just imagine a triangle, okay? And if you like to draw things, just imagine you got a triangle. So there's 3 levels of consciousness. So 3 levels of consciousness, and there's more. Don't hold me in limitation by saying, but Trisha, I know. We're working on a foundational common understanding. And I did this months and months ago, and I came up with this pattern and this unpacking and this idea of how to describe how we're living. So in these 3 realms, you've got 3 points on the triangle. It's a equilateral triangle, right? So you've got unconscious, self-conscious, but the tippity top is superconscious. So just imagine the triangle with these 3 levels of consciousness. So your superconscious is source. It's the everything. It's the all. It's the magic. It's the deliciousness of the Holy Spirit, or that space when you get into no thing and no time, like Joe Dispenza's meditations, or when you just feel that joyful bliss of magic in your life, and when a sunset takes your breath away, or when you hug someone and your body melts, or when you just feel presence and time stops. That's superconscious. So I put that at the top because it's all the stuff you love. So this one says love, joy, excitement, grounded, passion, empowerment, ease, and flow. That's at the top. Okay, so just imagine. And then here's the other stuff. You got the lower levels, and they're not lower in that they're less than. They're just a vibration of old information. Okay, so unconscious, self-conscious, and I'm just going to read them out. So imagine you're unconscious. It's your wound. It's your story. It's your trauma. It's the dysfunction. It's your survival identity. And it's all about the quantity of your life. Like, how long are you going to live? Are you going to survive? Or are you going to stay in these patterns? I'm at the tippity top. Thank you, Stacy. Come play, Kathleen. You got to come in and just stay engaged. I know you're in the group. Come and play and have fun. This unconscious patterning was created before 8 years old. And it's not wrong. We just had no identity of who we were as these cute little squishy babies that came into the world without any information about identifying as a human. So we took it on from the outside world. But what's really funny is all that information came from other people. All that information came from the outside world, that it's not really who we are. But then what happens over time is that information we gained before 8 years old about who we thought we were ends up running the show. And that's why it's like, oh, go hug your inner child, or work on your wounds, or talk about your shadow. And yes, there's part of that. But when we reinforce it, we're just staying there. We're just living there. Hey, Julia, thanks for, oh, I shifted something. What did I do? I changed I moved my screen. Isn't that funny? How did I do that? There we go. All right. So the unconscious is before 8 years old. It's all the old patterning. It's all the old wound. It's all the old story. And over time, it actually ends up running the show as we identify, and this is where patterns come in. We identify as that person we learned who we were. And it's just down there. That's all. It's part of who we are. It's a part of the whole. It's a part of the whole. It's necessary. Because even in that time, we learned how to eat, talk, feel, see, hear, laugh, toilet ourselves, feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, run, walk, crawl. We learned so many other things that are actually applicable each and every day as well. We need it. But most people want to go, I just don't want that part of myself anymore. And that's not how it works. That's not alchemy. That's not the magic. It's when you understand this is actually where your superpower is. This is why I'm telling you about me asking for help this week. Changed everything, because my wound is, I could do it all the line that my parents always repeated was, Trisha would say, I do it my own self. At 2 and 3 years old. And that kept going. decades later. So you must change the pattern. That's all. It's not wrong. Of course I could do all these things on my own. I've been doing it. But it's a choice now. And how do we create change in a safe way? All right, here's the other part. Self-conscious. Your self-conscious is rooted in judgment. Let's judge everything. Oh, here, you want to lay down? Dog's coming to visit. Here. Oh. Good, bad, right, wrong, happy, sad. Look at her. She's all excited to come play too. She's like, I want to be a good girl. Uh-huh. You don't have any of those wounds, do you? You going to lay down? Come on, lay down. Good girl. Yes. So in our super self-conscious in the bottom here, your self-conscious looks at everything in judgment. It says good, bad, right, wrong, happy, sad, lack, abundance. And it's always judging, 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 judging. It's just rooted in judgment. And don't you know, we actually need judgment. We don't need to live there all the time. We need judgment and discernment of when it's safe to cross the street, or when it's safe to drive the car down a certain direction on a road, or all of these things. We do need to discern when it's safe and when it's good and when it's bad, but we don't need to live there 100% of the time. We can't live in any one of these 100% of the time. We can't. We need all of them. You're ready? Ready for the magic now? All right. You get this. We need all of them. But what happens is we start oscillating. We go, oh, I don't need to live in unconscious and self-conscious because I just keep experiencing this blame and this worry and this trying to resolve my pain and my suffering. So let me get happy. Let me do the things I love. And that's when we learn about the superconscious, which is your essence. It's the truth of who you are. It's your magic. It's your soul. It's your spirit. It's your divine. It's everything. It's up here. And this stuff is just so fantastic when you experience it. Maybe like the first time you got in deep meditation, you felt that disconnect from this limitation of your physical body, and you go, oh, or when you're doing something that you love and you're just like, this is my jam, and you love it. Like when I was glass blowing last night for the first time in years. It was so awesome. I'll post pictures about it later, but that's this magic. That's what I want everybody to practice connecting into. But what happens is we just go boom, right back down into here and start staying. See this little wavy line across the middle? There's a reason. This holds us in limitation. And it's actually the predominant experience of most of our lives. You see how it's bigger than this? But this is the essence of what we want to practice. All right, ready for more? Here's where most people live. We forget we have this. We tasted it and we go, oh, that's who I am. But then we go right back here. Back and forth, back and forth. In the world of structure, which we're not going to really get into today, this is called oscillation. You just keep trying to resolve your wound and judge how you're doing. Resolve your wound because it feels awful to hold yourself in those old wounds of childhood, and you try to fix yourself. And you're wrong, and you're bad, and you're poor, and you're fat, and you're ugly, and you're stupid. And my words, not you, but this is me. It's like, oh, okay, let me just fix myself. We're not broken. Nothing needs to be fixed. The practice becomes choosing this. You just need to choose this. You want to learn how? You join me in the Art of Alchemy and you take my trainings, and you get everything that when I teach in the Art of Alchemy, my group training, I give you everything. I give you 110% as often as possible. And anybody who's here in my group knows that. I will drop everything to support you because I know this is not as easy as I'm explaining on a piece of paper. But that's why when you have a community and you connect with people, it's safe to change. It's safe to grow and experience the truth and the magic of who you are, because hot dang, you all are magical human beings, right? This is how you do it. All right, so you're not going to be able to see the whole thing here. We must rise above into what we love. We must rise into what we love and make what we love the predominant experience of our lives. You must make what you love the thing that lights your soul on fire, the thing that gives you tickles and tingles on the inside. And go do those things. And remember, this will hold you in oscillation away from it. This practice, oh, I can remember how to do this. I remember how to do this. Connect to my divine. Prayer, meditation, go for a run, hug your dog, pet your cat, hang out with your friends and have coffee talk, right? Thanks for being here, everybody, by the way. That's beautiful, Sonia. When I find myself in the past, I ask my little, Why is she scared? A reminder that I love her more forever and always. Always, always love those parts of ourselves. They're part of who we are. We can't cut off our left arm. You don't want to. You just got to integrate it. Well, I'm right-handed, so it's like I always think of my left as like sometimes like, oh, I don't know how to use it. It doesn't do what I want it to do. And then I go, no, I got to train it. I got to train it so it can be the same, so it can be balanced, and I have become ambidextrous because of that. Anyways, thank you for sharing that, Sonia. So what we have here is and I'll just read it out loud for a second. The unconscious and the self-conscious both must exist. They are part of who you are and necessary for survival and existing as a human being. We accept, allow, and learn from them. We learn what genius those parts of ourselves hold and acknowledge what dysfunctional patterns are there. And you just name them and you just go, oh, that's the Trisha that is do it my own self. And she wants to be all alone and do everything on her own. And she's afraid to ask for help because as a kid, nobody ever helped her and she got rejected all the time. And I laugh because as I say it out loud, I'm like, how silly. Poor little girl left all alone because her brother died when she was 3 and her parents were in emotional turmoil because a baby died in her house. And that little girl just felt all alone all the time. So she just stopped asking for help because people weren't there. She's not wrong. She's not bad. She's actually a genius for being able to create a superpower such as incredible independence and fire inside of her to do whatever she wanted to do. But now I take that energy and apply it elsewhere, right? Chemical symbols, well, they're honeycomb, hexagons, but hexagon, as I know our scientist here, Jenna, is looking at all of my little symbols. It could be like alchemical symbols. It's imprints of a honeycomb, which are hexagons are, of course, hexavalence and all that are symbols in chemistry. Yes. All right, so how do we do this? We acknowledge what dysfunctional patterns they are, we name them, and embrace and celebrate your survival and the quality of your life right now, which is what you're doing with me, because we are powerful and we are creative geniuses. So what we eventually get to is just choosing this over and over again. So you see the line is still there, and this still exists, but we focus on this. What you love, what you love, what you love, what you love, what you love. Practice choosing what you love and with choices and intentions. That's what we do every week in my group program. Twice a week we meet, Mondays and Tuesdays, US East Coast time. And we just talk about this stuff and practice it. And I host sessions where we do change processes like superconscious recode, and we do install processes like anchors, or we do unpacking where we just go through a series of questions to understand what dysfunction are we stuck in. Understanding all of this exists, and the continual practice of showing up and going for what you love gets you this. So you understand, and all these little arrows going up is like, what do you love? What do you love? What do you love? What do you love? Go sing, go dance, go glass blowing, go make jewelry, go hike at the river, go for a swim, hug your dog, play with your cat, talk to your friends, ask, hang out with people that you care about, do the things you love to do without thinking, I have to do this and this and this, then I can go do what I love. No, just go do what you love. Just go do what you love. Just go do what you love. And that's really hard for some people. Some people can't even name what they love. Can you all here listening, can you name what you love? Can you actually just say it out loud or put it in the comments? If you can't say, oh my gosh, this is the stuff I love, just find something small like your favorite mug or your favorite food. Blueberry pie, pumpkin pie. It's pumpkin pie season. I haven't had pumpkin pie yet. See how that just makes me smile? It doesn't have to be what you love and like the, you know, I love having the big business and traveling and hosting events all around the world. And side note, I've already done that. It's awesome. I don't have to be doing it every minute of every day. When you put what you love as the forefront of your focus, you're going to connect to the greatest parts of yourself. And when you hang out with people like this, right, Julia? Immediate shift. We just focus on what we love, the core 4 right there. And we do an anchoring process for the core 4. Yes, yes. Core 4, for anybody who really wants to hear it again, or if you hadn't heard it yet, is I choose to love my life. I choose to live a life that I love, and I choose to love myself. Well, that's 1, but I put 3 choices in there. I choose to live my true nature and purpose. It's teaching this stuff and glass blowing and hiking and making jewelry. I choose to live as the predominant creator of my life, and I allow all others to do the same. I create my reality, and nobody else can create it for me. Yeah, deep breath. Throat clearing on that one. Thank you, whoever just inspired me to do that. I think that was Julia. And I choose to live with health and vitality, ease and flow and flexibility in my body. Now, that's a lot of sentences, but that is what in this work we call the core four. They mean a lot to me, and I can anchor them and then reactivate them by just touching my hand. That's a process we call anchoring. Yeah, beach combing, Jeannie. I know you love that. So here's the last stage. You're just focused on what you love. And that triangle system and the oscillation, it decreases, so it doesn't hold you captive anymore. You don't stay stuck in your own jail of hell with all those bars, those double. My father once said hell in the hospital, and he felt really bad. And he said HE double toothpicks when he corrected himself. I was like, Dad, you can swear, man. You can. And he was like, oh, hell's not a swear word. I'm like, see, you can say it. But that jail cell, LL, hell, is all those lines. And we put boundaries up against ourselves because of those old patterns we learned in childhood. You don't have to do that anymore. You connect with community like this. We celebrate all parts of ourselves. We get really honest. We get really honest with ourselves, right? We get really, really honest with ourselves and say, how do we do this? How do we do this in a way where it's safe? It takes time and repetition, and I don't want anybody to do it alone. I love love the community we've created in the sacred space. So thank you for those of you who are part of it. Yes, Sonia, if you want to talk about one-to-one sessions, absolutely. I have a lot of my one-to-one clients who are not in my group. I have a lot of clients who are one-to-one and in the group, and I have just group clients. And I have clients who just want to have one session and see if we jive together, and sometimes that's all they need. So yes, Sonia, send me a message if you want to do Facebook Messenger, and we can connect and learn more about what you would like to talk about. So this is my jam. This is my goal in life, is to get everybody to this point where you could say, this is what I love, this is what I'm focusing on, and this is what I'm going for. And I acknowledge I've got all these old patterns that sometimes hold me back in limitation. And I don't want to live that way anymore. And this is what I'm choosing. And that's why I choose to show up and hang out with people like you, so we can connect and say, okay, how do we do this stuff together? How do we learn more about our magic, our superpowers? Because those patterns and those wounds we got as children, they're actually our superpowers. We just have not accessed that superpower because we're trained to try to fix it. We're trained to try to fix those parts of ourselves that we think are broken, that hurt us, that feel sad and hold us in limitation. And then you beat yourself up over the head and you keep screwing up and you go, why does this keep happening to me? And I can tell you exactly why it keeps happening. Is because you haven't stepped into what you love frequently enough that becomes your predominant experience. And that's what I teach people to do. It's just so much dang fun. So that's what I got today. Here's a one-to-one link if anybody wants to jump on a one-to-one session with me. Thank you, Julia. Yeah, it's my love, it's my passion, it's my excitement. I love this work. I know it works. I know the effectiveness of group coaching and one-to-one sessions, and I do it for myself. I do it day in and day out as often as possible. And I have an amazing group of people around me that support me. That's who I asked for help this week from. And thank you. Thank you to those people who are able to hear me and say, I got you, Trisha, because hot dang, that feels amazing. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to drink my coffee and just continue to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to listen to Coffee Talk today. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for choosing this journey just so you can learn more about your own magic and what you love and really practice choosing it, because this life is meant to be fun and amazing. And we're going to experience turmoil and loss and death and pain and all of that. But this continual suffering we put ourselves in, it's not necessary. Change is necessary, and it's not easy. I'm not saying that all these things I just showed you, it's not easy. I've been put through the ringer multiple times in my life. When you have community and connection with other people who are doing it, who see you and say, I got your back, I got you, I understand, it makes it all worthwhile because you get to see the growth and that, that spiral. It's not a straight line. It's not a straight line up. It's a spiral as you go up. And then we spiral back down into the old patterns too. It's all part of it and it's all necessary. So let go of the struggle, get off that struggle bus. Yeah, because it's really not glamorous. Exactly. It works, and that old story and patterns are hard to shake. And I know because I get into them too, Kathleen. And what happens is we realize and acknowledging why do they keep showing up? Whether it's we're immersing ourselves in those situations or those people or watching the terrible news. For me, I had to quit drinking alcohol because that was a recurring horrific pattern that I held myself in limitation and in pain because of alcohol. It could be relationships we're not willing to separate from. It could be a location or a city or a job or just an internal story of I'm not good enough. Somebody who I love dearly and thank you said to me last night, Trisha, why are you going through this self-loathing of you're not doing enough? Look at what you are doing. I was like, oh, I kind of forgot for a second because I'm looking at the decline of my father who's going into hospice and palliative care, and it's terribly sad. And I just want to be there with him 24 hours a day, and I can't. So I got into this, let me beat myself up because I can't do enough story. And then it was like, but Trisha, look at what you are doing. And I just needed somebody to say that to me. It was amazing. So thank you for the person who said that to me. And it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, found my younger misinterpreted the reasons why we're doing all this stuff. So if you want to learn more, I invite you to join my group. You can find everything you need to know on trishabecker.com. Or if you want to watch more of sessions like this, where I just talk about the foundations of how we create change and how do we take this journey into alchemy and how do we shift? How do we create change in a way where we can maintain the focus on what we love? I got a YouTube channel. There's, social media galore. Hit me up, send me a message, connect. We have so much magic inside of us. When we allow ourselves to experience it with cool people like you, thank you, Jeannie. I just got it. It's fantastic. And I'm not going to say it comes without tears and you're always happy. That's not the goal. The goal is to play with, my goal at least, is to play with magic and alchemy every day and experience the phenomenal life that I'm living. And I choose to do it with you all. So thanks for being here with me to choose a little bit as well. Cheers. And now I get to go see my dad and go give him a hug. So enjoy your day. Stay in touch. Hit me up if you have any questions. Schedule a session if you want. trishabecker.com. I think it's like first time client session, something like that. Just look at the website. And I think Creative Alchemy is still on there as an event. But just hit me up and we'll connect you with the resources that could support you as you create change in your life. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you, Sonia. Nice to see you. And thanks, Julia. So easy to forget. Yeah, all we need is a group of like-minded creators who want to do this stuff and implement it and practice living a life we love. So cheers to you all. Thanks for being a part of my day. And I'll see you soon, hopefully. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, everybody.